Hey everybody, it's Tasha. So this is my recap and review for episode 4 of The Gifted, entitled eXit. And I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying that I'm thoroughly enjoying this show and the development of the characters. Each episode we dig a little deeper into the emotional states of different characters. And in this episode, we focus on a little bit Reed Strucker. And we see the consequences of his decision last week to not turn in the Mutant Underground. And that his change in circumstances has really shown him how narrow-minded his original ideas about mutants and justice really were. So I'm just going to jump into the recap, which basically starts off with Marcos and his single-minded determination to get Lorna back. He wants her free from Sentinel services before they can transfer her and Reed to a more permanent facility. On the surface, this is a straightforward theme, a prison break. But the complications come in the execution, because he has no idea when or by which route the Sentinel services will be traveling. So he decides that he's going to get in contact with some of his old cartel contacts to get the information. And that's when we meet Carmen, Marcos's ex, who is still seriously bitter about him leaving her, and who only agrees to help him retrieve his pregnant girlfriend if he will come and work for her, doing shady deeds whenever she calls. He manages to get all the details, but that's not all he needs. He needs bodies, boots on the ground. So him and John attempt to recruit some of the mutants at the Safehouse, but most of them want no part in it because they know that they lack the numbers and resources to lay siege against the government agency. So in the end, they have a handful of volunteers, including Blink, Shatter, whose ability basically puts him in stealth mode, Sonia, and the Strucker family. The small group decides to work to their advantage and attack the convoy en route. Essentially, the plan is to use the Strucker children's combined powers to stop the truck, have Blink create a portal to get them inside, grab Lorna and Reed, and escape. But of course, no plan goes off without a hitch. When Blink attempts to create the portal, it fails, and John quickly realizes that it's because the Sentinel services have a mutant working for them. His best friend, who he long thought dead, has the ability to interrupt other mutants' powers. A shootout kicks off, and Marcos tries to make it to Lorna, and John faces off against his friend. John comes out on top pretty quickly. He manages to knock him out, and that gives everyone their powers back, so they are able to get away in time, leaving Agent Turner livid that he has had yet another failed mission. While this is the main story of this episode, there is another, smaller thread running throughout that has the potential for disaster written all over it. In the last episode, Sonia used her ability to implant memories of her and John into Blink's mind so that she would be able to move past having fear as her primary way to channel her powers. This is now becoming a problem because the memories aren't fading. They're amplifying, and Blink is now seeing John in her dreams, and she feels as though these are memories of her and him rather than Sonia and him. She tries to subtly ask him if they were together, and he says no, but he doesn't tell her why she's having these sudden feelings and memories. He instead wants Sonia to admit her actions to Blink, but she refuses because she doesn't want to run the risk of Blink leaving when they need her abilities. I can guarantee that this won't end well. They're in life and death situations every day, so finding out that they're messing with her mind and lying to her about it isn't going to be a great way to instill trust. I can see this building to a situation that drives a big wedge between John and Sonia, and if John does end up developing any kind of feelings for Blink, He's not going to want to act on them because he's never going to be sure if the feelings that she has for him are real or if they're remnants of emotions from Sonia. And for Blink, there's no way that when she does find this out, she isn't going to feel betrayed because no one is being honest with her. All in all, this was another solid episode that has me really looking forward to more. I can't wait to see what Agent Turner does next, now that he's lost both of his prisoners. And I'm also curious to find out how many more mutants Sentinel Services has working for them, and what the tattooed symbol on John's friend actually means. Anyway, what did you guys think of this episode?